Thanks for checking out this video. Before we start, I am not a financial advisor and none of this should be considered financial advice. This tool is for educational and personal planning purposes only. It does not constitute financial, tax, legal or investment advice. All projections are estimates based on the values that you enter and are not guaranteed. Hi and welcome to this video where we're going to take a little bit more of a deep dive into the AI chat features included in version 6 of the AI Ready Retirement Income Planner. I've already set up a scenario here which has been optimized to a certain degree. However, let's chat with our AI and take a look what it thinks about our plan so far. This is actually one of our built-in prompts. Let's just take a look at that in this tab here. This first one says summarize and flag risks. So I just click that button and that's what gave me this response here. Actually the full prompt for this is propose specific numeric changes to optimize my plan. Target staying in the 12% bracket and keeping ACA CSR eligibility where possible. So let's just have a look what it says. Plan analysis and optimization proposals. The current plan assessment. Your plan is very well structured. 7 out of 8 health checks passing with only a minor warning on income floor foundation. Tax efficiency. You're in the 10% bracket through age 67, then in 12% bracket through age 80. That's excellent positioning. ACA and CSR is protected. IRMA is avoided. Stress test resilient, portfolio survives a bear market scenario. This is some information about the optimizations that the AI is proposing for this plan to make it a little bit better. The first optimization is saying that in phase 2, which is 62 to 65, we could increase our 401k withdrawals to fill the 10% bracket. Currently we have $150 a month being withdrawn from our 401k in this phase. Taxable income is 0 per year and we're leaving the entire 10% bracket unused. And we have an opportunity here. You have 12,126 of 10% bracket space, inflation adjusted, and 38,389 of headroom to the ACA cliff. You can withdraw significantly more than the 401k at just 10% tax while preserving ACA CSR eligibility. And the benefit of this is that it reduces future RMD pressure, lowers 401k balance subject to higher tax rates later, and increases current spending power. So we have a similar in-depth analysis of all these recommendations here. Let's just scroll through some of these recommendations and go to the bottom to the section that says proposed changes. All proposals preserve your health checks and respect ACA, CSR, IRMA and bracket thresholds. It says health checks preserved, income adequacy, tax bracket efficiency, ACA subsidy protected, IRMA not triggered, portfolio survives to end, RMD compliance, stress test resilient, and checks improved, none currently failing, but these changes strengthen tax efficiency and reduce future RMD risk. And our summary, your plan is already excellent. These proposals fill unused bracket space in every phase, keeping you in the 10 to 12% brackets while preserving ACA, CSR eligibility and avoiding IRMA. The result is higher real income, lower lifetime taxes, and reduced RMD pressures, all while maintaining your intentional drawdown strategy to age 80. We want to have a think now about which ones of these proposals we would like to keep, and the ones that we would like to keep we give a check mark, and the ones that we don't want to keep we're going to uncheck, and then we're going to apply selected, and that is going to make those changes to the plan. The first time you open the AI chat tab, it asks for an Anthropic API key, and you will need one to use the AI features in the planner. Here's how to get it. Go to console.anthropic.com and sign up, add a payment method, and create a key. This is pay as you go, and there is no subscription, and a typical conversation costs you just a few cents. Now paste it in, click Save Key, and start chatting. That's it. The key is stored only in your browser's local storage. It never goes through any third-party server. It travels straight from your machine to Anthropic and back. Here you will pick your Claude model. You have three options. Opus, which is the most capable and deepest reasoning, slightly more expensive. Sonnet, fast and balanced. And Haiku, which is the most economical and perfect for quick questions. The dashboard remembers your selection between sessions. One thing that I would say is that our usage will likely be so low that it only costs a few cents anyway, so we might as well use the Opus model. If you change your mind and want to use a different Claude model, go to Settings and you can select the model that you're using from the drop down here. You can also remove the API key and update it to a new API key if you choose to do so. We do have a full video on how to use an API key in version 6 of the Retirement Income Planner. This goes into a little bit more detail, showing you the difference between how we would use the planner with the API key and how we would use the planner without the key. Once again, the API key is totally optional and the planner works in full without the key except for the AI chat features. The 6 buttons under the chat box are your one-click starters. Each one is carefully written prompt that uses your actual plan as context. Let me walk you through what each one does and when to use it. Now, we already had a look at the first one, summarize and flag risks. You click summarize and flag risks when you want a 60-second sanity check. The AI reads your entire plan, summarizes what you're doing, and flags the top 3 or 4 things that you should be worried about. This is your start every session here prompt. You'll often discover risks you didn't know existed. The next button is the tax bracket check. Tax bracket check answers one question with surgical precision. In every phase, am I staying inside the 12% bracket? And if not, how far am I over? The AI reports headroom phase by phase, deciding whether to do a Roth conversion or take an extra 401k withdrawal. Let's look at this one in a little bit more detail. The full prompt given when we click the button is check my tax bracket position in each phase. Am I staying in the 12% bracket and what is my headroom? Let's just have a look here at what it's bringing back for us. Tax bracket analysis, your position and headroom, current status, comfortably within the 12% bracket in all phases. You are well positioned in the 12% bracket throughout your entire plan. Here's your exact standing in each phase. So it gives us a bit of information about phase 2 here. Our tax bracket is 10% technically, but you pay 0 because taxable income is 0. The headroom to the 22% bracket is 110,000, which means that we could actually have another 110,000 of income before going into the 22% bracket. And the analysis of this phase says your standard deduction is $15,680, completely shelters your modest income. You're using only 0% of the 12% bracket capacity. And we can review these. We're still in the 10% bracket, now we're in the 12%, but only using 20% of the 12% bracket, and still comfortably in 12% using only 41% of the bracket. You have 31,967 of room before hitting 22%. And our key takeaways: you never exceed the 12% bracket. We have substantial unused capacity. Tax efficiency is excellent. Your effective tax rate across the plan is very low, averaging 5 to 6% of gross income, and you're not leaving money on the table by underutilizing low brackets. Bottom line, your tax bracket position is optimal. You're efficiently filling the 10 to 12% brackets without spilling into 22%, and you have plenty of room to maneuver if you ever need to increase withdrawals. So this is the kind of insight that should give you a lot of confidence in your plan, and certainly when we've been through all these steps using the AI chat and even asking our own questions, we should have a great deal of confidence in our plan by the end of that. The next button is ACA CSR check, and this is for anyone retiring before 65. It tells you phase by phase whether you're eligible for premium subsidies, whether you qualify for cost-sharing reductions, and how close you are to the 400% FPL cliff. This is the prompt that prevents most expensive mistakes in early retirement. Let's take a look at this prompt and why we might want to use it. Am I ACA CSR eligible in each pre-Medicare phase? Flag any phases near or above the cliff. Now we can already see on our main dashboard that we have no red flags and this looks okay, but if we want to understand a little bit more about what's actually happening there, we can use this prompt in our AI chat to ask questions against our retirement plan. Let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. So our summary says you are ACA CSR eligible in your only pre-Medicare phase, which is age 62 to 65, and you have substantial headroom in the cliff. So if we look at this, it gives the phase by phase breakdown. In an hour phase, it says that we are eligible, and it says our current modified adjusted gross income is $24,582 a year. The 250% FPL ceiling would be $39,357. The 400% FPL cliff would be $62,971. And our status is that we are eligible, and our Maggie is well within the 100 to 250% FPL range. And here is a little more analysis. You are comfortably positioned for Silver Plan cost-sharing reduction benefits, which lower your out-of-pocket costs, deductibles, copay, in addition to premium subsidies. Your current withdrawal strategy: $150 a month 401k, $1,500 a month cash, keeps Maggie at only 62% of the CSR ceiling. You have room to increase withdrawals by over $1,200 a month before losing CSR eligibility, or $3,199 a month before losing subsidies entirely. I think this is invaluable insight that can really help you understand your plan and how much room you've got to maneuver. The final risk assessment says no phases are near or above the cliff. Your only Medicare phase has 14,775 cushion and 38,389 cushion to the subsequent cliff. This is a conservative, well-protected ACA strategy. The plan health check correctly shows for ACA subsidy protected, and our key takeaway: you've structured phase 2 to maximize ACA benefits while keeping withdrawals low. The large headroom means you could increase early withdrawals if needed, example for unexpected expenses or to reduce later tax burden, without jeopardizing CSR eligibility. But your current approach prioritizes account growth and tax efficiency, which is sound given your strong later phase balances. So real insight into your plan, your strategy, your numbers, and if you do have any further questions, you can always send a follow-up question to help you understand it even more. Next is withdrawal strategy. Withdrawal strategy asks the AI to look at how you're drawing across all 5 phases: 401k versus cash versus Roth versus equities, and suggests improvements. It thinks about tax efficiency and account depletion timing simultaneously. Most retirees get one of those right and miss the other. The AI catches both. Let's take a closer look at the withdrawal strategy tab. The full prompt says, analyze my withdrawal strategy across all phases, suggest any improvements to tax efficiency or account depletion timing. Withdrawal strategy analysis. Current strategy assessment. Your withdrawal strategy shows solid fundamentals but has room for meaningful optimization, particularly in the early phases where you're leaving substantial tax and account efficiency opportunities on the table. From phase 5, age 72 to 80, we have excellent execution, withdrawing $2,500 a month from the 401k, staying comfortably in the 12% bracket. We are meeting RMD requirements and maintaining strong IRMA headroom. Tax bracket discipline: you never reach the 12% bracket across the entire 18-year plan. Account survival: all 3 accounts remain healthy through age 80, with 401k ending at $634,000. Okay, so that's something in the plan that maybe we missed when we looked at it before. We don't need to leave that much, so this will help us to optimize our overall strategy. Critical inefficiencies, phase 2. Severe underutilization of tax space, gives us some information. Phase 3, phase 4, still underutilizing. And core principles here: front load the 401k withdrawals in early phases. This will help us to fill the standard deduction and 12% bracket capacity, preserve cash and equity for later phases, and reduce future 401k balance, lowering RMD pressure in phase 3. So we've got some specific proposals here for changes which you can look at in more detail. Now let's look at quantified benefits. Tax efficiency gains. In phase 2 we could pay $69 a month federal tax but convert $1,850 a month, which would help us preserve $1,850 a month in cash. And in phase 3 to 4, pay incrementally more tax, but all within the 12% bracket. Highly efficient. Account preservation. Cash ends at 41,000, equity at 145, 401k ends at 520. RMD pressure relief. Lower phase 5, starting 401k balance. More flexibility to reduce equity withdrawals in final phase. And some information about why this works. And one caution, your income floor foundation check is currently at 45% coverage. These proposals don't worsen it, but if you want to strengthen guaranteed income, the only lever is delaying Social Security claiming beyond 62. Every year of delay adds 8% to your benefits. That's a separate strategic decision, but worth noting. Bottom line, your current strategy is safe, but leaves 100,000 plus in combined tax. Now this is interesting. Would you like me to model the specific dollar impacts of these changes, or would you prefer to see the machine-readable proposals block to implement them? Let's have a look at the proposals. So we can see here on the right that it's put that advice and recommendations into a proposals block for us, and now we can review each one of these proposals. I'm not going to take the time to review them here, but any that we want we can select, and any we don't want to select we can unselect, and then just click Apply Selected. Applied 7 changes. Phase 2 401k withdrawal a month, Phase 2 cash withdrawal a month, Phase 3 401k withdrawal, and a few more here. Let's go back and look at our plan. Now we can see that in phase 2 the proposals have actually caused this flag. Let's go back to our AI and see if we can correct that. Let's try one more time, and there we are. With any retirement withdrawal strategy, there are pros and cons to any particular approach. We could withdraw more money from our 401k in order to reduce RMDs later on, or we can keep our withdrawal strategy in phase 2, optimize for ACA Silver CSR. This is a decision that you would need to make for your own plan. You can't have both, but our planner helps guide you towards the decision that's best for you. And propose optimizations. Let's have a look at this one in a little more depth. The full prompt is propose specific numeric changes to optimize my plan. Target staying in the 12% bracket and keeping ACA CSR eligibility where possible. Now this is a slightly different plan from the one before. Feel free to have a read through these recommendations. Implement all 3 proposals if you value tax arbitrage over CSR benefits. If CSR cost sharing is important, high expected medical costs age 62-65, keep phase 2 unchanged and only increase phase 3 and 4. Okay, so that is actually what we want to do. We want to optimize for CSR. So we are going to keep phase 2 unchanged. Let's have a look here. It's got phase 2, it's got phase 3, it's got phase 4. We've read the recommendations, so we've decided not to select this one, but we will select the others. Click Apply and have a look at the resulting plan. And finally, Roth conversion advice. Roth conversion advice is for the question many retirees eventually ask: should I convert? Which phase? How much? The AI sizes conversations to fill your bracket without crossing into the next one and respects every cliff and threshold. You'll get phase-specific dollar amounts you can apply with one click. Let's take a closer look at what the AI is recommending for this particular scenario. The full prompt: should I be doing Roth conversions in any phase? If so, which phases and approximately how much? So we have a Roth conversion analysis here looking at your plan. Yes, you have excellent opportunities for Roth conversions, particularly in phase 2 and potentially phase 3. Let's go through here. We have a section on why Roth conversions make sense here. We have information about the recommended conversion strategy and the rationale behind that strategy. The tax impact of this change would be adding $2,400 a year in federal tax, and the total 5-year conversion window, $145,000 moved to Roth. Next we have the concrete proposal. I'll propose phase 2 conversions first, the highest value opportunity. You can implement phase 3 conversions later once you see how phase 2 performs. But all we need to do here, if we agree with this conversion, is click Apply Selected. We can now see that one change has been applied in phase 2 and your Roth conversion plan has been recalculated. Let's go into this and look at our admin tab, and we should see our Roth conversion included here in phase 2. For those of you that are interested in digging a little bit deeper into Roth conversions, we do have a companion app to the Retirement Income Planner, our Roth Conversion Optimizer. This is a complete multi-year walkthrough to guide you step by step through the best possible Roth conversion strategy for you. When you finally have a Roth conversion strategy that makes the most sense for you, those results can be easily imported back into the Retirement Planner. There is one more quality of life improvement to the Retirement Income Planner that I would like to go over. The first thing is we are not restricted to these 6 buttons here. We can type any question that we like. So I'm typing a question here: what's my effective tax rate across each phase? And we'll give that a minute to load. And now it's loaded, we can review the response. But let's say we want to make a change and then send another message to our AI chat. I'm going to change this number here from 5,000 to 1,250. And we should see now, when we go back to our AI chat, we have a new message here. It says plan updated since last message will be included in next reply. So that means that the AI chat recognizes the fact that you've made a change in the plan, and when you next send your message, the updated plan will be sent to the AI. As soon as we send that message, we see this area at the top change to say AI is up to date with your plan, and that gives us the confidence to know that the changes we just made are now included in our AI conversation.